Hi, I'm on my lunch break at work and just want to make a quick video because there's something I've been thinking about that I mentioned in my first video. Um, Again, my name is Rachel. I'm 34 years old. I work at a library and I am in no ways like a mental health professional or anything. I'm just trying to share my experience and maybe it will help other people or even help me process things. Um, in my first and last video, I mentioned briefly that I grew up in a Christian household, and I just kind of wanted to delve deeper into that because Christianity is great depending on what you believe and how you follow it. And like if you're living like Jesus lived, like, that's good. But a lot of people take Christianity to the extremes, which makes it really hard in a lot of ways. But one of those ways is including getting mental health support. Some denominations, some people believe that you don't need therapy or medicine and that God should cure you, and that, if you pray hard enough or believe hard enough, you'll be okay. And He will heal you. I'm not saying miracles don't happen, but I'm also saying that therapy and meds are okay if you need them. Because even if you pray, God's not gonna necessarily take it away. He might let you. He will help you through it, yes, but I know, like, we're supposed to leave things at the altar and we're supposed to pray and stuff, and sometimes that gets hard because you leave the altar and you pick up what you lay down back up and you don't leave it there, and it keeps just like running through your mind or plaguing you or like becoming so consuming. And I believe in prayer, and but I also believe in therapy and medicine. And with me, I grew up in a Christian home, and like my mom never liked medicine. She's allergic to a lot of different meds, and so that didn't help. And she claims they had side effects, whether they did or not. And she's like, the only time I took antidepressants, I wanted to kill myself. And yeah, that does happen because sometimes it's a process in finding the right mental health meds you might need. I know, like, I've been on a few that have really helped. I've also been on a few I hated. So, when I started getting depressed, I didn't really know that's what it was exactly. I remember being in a car with my college friends, and like my friend was going 100 and I was just laying back feeling really numb, and my friends were like, don't you know how fast she's going, isn't this fun? And I was like, it's whatever. And at that point I didn't realize that's what depression could be like. Also, like, my anxiety manifests a lot in irritation. And so that explains why I wanted to punch my friend for like 2 to 3 years of college, because that's another story. I also felt weird asking for help though, because, you know, I should read my Bible more, or I should pray more, or I should go to church more. And I finally got to the point, like, I moved out of my parents' house when I was like around 22. And I got really depressed when I moved out. I think it's just because it was like a lot of change at once. I don't do well with change. And so I needed to find a new primary because I hadn't been to the doctor in forever. So I finally found a new primary because my stomach was really hurting because I had a stress ulcer. And finally I started talking to her about how I was feeling and like the symptoms I was having, and she put me on a few different meds while I was seeing her, but it got to the point where I needed more help than what she could do, because I felt like killing myself. I wasn't going to go through with it. I didn't necessarily want to, but that felt like the only way out at the time. And she suggested like maybe I get further help, like see a psychiatrist and or a therapist and like go to them. And so that's when I started going, but it wasn't until I moved out of my parents' house that I felt comfortable enough going. And even then I felt like I had to hide therapy for a while from my parents. And you know, my mom didn't like the meds I was on, and I remember one time I had stopped taking them and I was doing really bad. I was self-harming a lot and whatever. And funnily enough, we were actually at church when this happened. She looked over and she's like, I think you're doing so much better without those meds. But she didn't know what was happening like on the inside or underneath, because you know, my cuts were hidden and nobody knew. Well, the only people that knew I was self-harming were people I'd actually told. And so like she didn't know, and I was actually doing pretty bad at that moment, and it just made me feel like she didn't really support like my journey or my mental health. And that kind of hurt. That's just what people believe, I guess. I'm lucky that I don't go to church much anymore, but my pastor at my church, she struggles with mental health, so she's on meds and she's been to therapy before. So I had that support. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people just have like pastors and church members or even parents who just feel like praying and reading the Bible should be enough. And yeah, it can help. It can make you feel better. But sometimes that's just not enough. Sometimes you need extra. Like, I see 2 therapists now, and I talk to them. And, like, Laura, I've been seeing for, like, 4-5 years, somewhere around there. And I've learned, like, a lot of different coping skills that help me, you know, in day-to-day life. That, you know, I can't necessarily learn out of the Bible. Like, yes, like, be patient with people, and yes, like, you know, be kind to the least of these, or whatever. But, like, coping skills, like, oh gosh, check the facts. Like, when your brain is running rampant, and you're like, oh, my friend didn't respond to a text, and she hates me. Well, let's check the facts. What are some reasons she might not be able to respond? And just because she doesn't respond, does that mean she doesn't like you? And then it's a whole sheet. Anyway, you can't learn that in the Bible or through prayer. And honestly, like, it's okay to ask for help. I mean, Jesus asked for help. I mean, from God, but it was still asking for help. And sometimes God will send you people in your life that will help you. And sometimes that's medical professionals or mental health professionals, because they know what you need. And God, if you believe in God and you believe in Christianity, I believe that He will send you to the right people that will help you at the right time. And I feel like it is okay to ask for help. Nobody on this planet is perfect. And life is hard, especially right now with the politics, and like everything keeps going up, and money is tight for a lot of people that I know, including myself. And it's just like a really turbulent time. And it's nice to have like that place where you can go and just be yourself for an hour without having to worry about what you say or how you phrase certain things or what you talk about. I just feel like sometimes Christianity really puts a hindrance on that. And like I said, I believe in prayer. I believe in the Bible. I also believe God put mental health professionals on this planet to help people. And if He didn't want us to go to them, they wouldn't be here. That's just my 2 cents. I guess I just want to end it with, like, if you need help and you are struggling, please reach out if you can. There are people out there that want to help you and are able to help you. And sometimes if you decide meds are the way to go, it's a trial and error, which that part sucks. But once you get on some that actually help you, if you feel better, it might not hit you all at once. It might take a while, but you notice like you're not laying on the couch as much, or like this coworker doesn't get on your nerves as much, or whatever the case may be. But ask for help if you need it. It's definitely worth it.